Hello guys, this is Goten from AA, and welcome to the Money in the Bank predictions video. You're gonna get mine and Harpo's and possibly a friend's. We'll see. He's currently the predictions champion in our little friend group. I'm trying to get him to send his, but if he doesn't by the time I'm editing this, they're just not gonna be in this one. Because I'll be honest, I'm recording this Friday night and editing this tonight because I don't have time tomorrow morning because I have to attend a funeral. So yeah. Starting off with my predictions, we're going to do mine, then Harpo should be recording his at the very least, and I'll throw them in after mine, and we'll obviously it'll be like that. So starting off, the four-way for the SmackDown Tag Titles, Forgotten Sons, Lucha House Party, New Day, and Miz Morrison. I think New Day are going to retain here. I think they're going to a few of the Forgotten Sons after this. Because I'm pretty sure Woods has either been cleared or should be cleared semi-soon, at least based off his timetable of being out. So then obviously do 3-on-6-man tags and all sorts of stuff like faction stuff like that. Maybe keep a feud going with Miz and Morrison, maybe do some other stuff. The tag division's so dead right now on both brands. There's not many tag teams. In a time like this, especially. So we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna go with New Day retain here. Moving on, Bayley versus Tamina for SmackDown Women's title. Bayley's retaining, end of story. The Tamina train meme thing, it's fun, obviously, but obviously Tamina's not going to win. There's no way she's winning. Bayley and Celeste are going to continue their feud soon for the women's title. Probably. After that, we obviously have Braun versus Bray, Universal title. I originally thought Braun, but we waited till after SmackDown to see what they do for the Go Home show. I'm gonna go with Bray, since Braun sort of stood tall in a way, and they're probably just gonna hotshot the title back on the Bray, keep this feud going for a bit, and then feud him the Reigns as expected. And yeah, I could see them keeping the title on Braun because it's non-Fiend, it's just Bray, and doing some stupid finish, but I feel like they'll just give it to Bray, get it out of the way. So yeah, I'll stick with Bray. Next up, McIntyre versus Rollins for the WWE title. McIntyre's retaining. It's gonna be a good match, yeah, beat McIntyre's good title defense. Next up, is the Women's Money in the Bank match. It's Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Asuka, Dana Brooke, Carmella, and Lacey Evans, I believe. That's the 6 we got. I'm going to check my notes just to be safe. I know I'm very professional. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to go with Asuka, because Becky said she's confronting the Money in the Bank winner on Raw, spoiling the fact that it's most likely going to be a Raw participant. Asuka's on Raw. She's seemingly over screw events, which is kind of impressive. And it makes sense because they have previous beef. So I'm going to go with Asuka. I will say also, our 2 bonus points that we've confirmed right now is if you get both right and both Money in the Bank winners right, and which one you think is going to go first. Both Harpo and I, last time I checked, are going with women's. I'm going to stick with that. The women's briefcase will be dropped first. Next, though, men's Money in the Bank, which should be happening simultaneously, apparently, which is going to be great. Daniel Bryan, Aleister Black, Rey Mysterio, King Corbin, Otis, and Styles. This one took an actual process of elimination, but I got it down to Black and Styles. I think the briefcase would make more sense with Styles out of those two, and he just came back, he kind of just got shoehorned in. Now, shoehorns and people who take spots in matches last minute seem to always win in WWE. So I'm going to go with Styles. Mostly, I'd also love to see Styles v. Drew. And yeah, those are all my predictions. That's everything we have now. I'm sure we'll come up with one extra bonus point since there's only 6 matches. Or in case they add Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus, I will be going with Jeff Hardy. I feel like it's probably going to be like the pre-show match or something. I'll be going with Jeff Hardy if that does happen. Just going to say that now. So there you go. That's my predictions. I'm going to pass it over to Harpo now. And hopefully our third friend, but if not, it's whatever. In case Harpo doesn't say it, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Here's Harpo.
Okay, so we're on my portion of predictions, and I'll go ahead start the bottom of the ladder with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And after seeing SmackDown, I think I think the Forgotten Sons will win. They'll pin Miz. Specifically, they'll pin Miz because I think they want to build Miz as the weak link between Miz and Morrison. That's how they're going to split them up. That's the theory. So I think Miz eats the pin, and I think it's the Forgotten Sons that does it. Just so the New Day have an easy transition to a new feud, Just an easy transition right there. Now for the SmackDown Women's Championship match, I think the Tamina train is going to run wild, and Tamina's going to win. Sounds crazy, but it's going to happen. Tamina is going to win, and it's going to be great. Tamina, it'll just work. Trust. It'll work. Okay. Then the Blue Universal Championship match. I think Bray will win. I think Bray's going to get into the head of Braun Strowman, get right up in there, get into his skull, and just, make Braun not want to fight back. He's going to do something. It's Bray Wyatt. Maybe the Fiend gets involved. Maybe he doesn't. But I think Bray Wyatt will win the match and get the championship back. It's going to be weird, but I think he's going to do it. WWE Championship match, I don't really have to say this. We all know Drew's going to win. They just gave him the belt. There's no reason to take it off him right away. I think Drew wins. Women's Money in the Bank match. This was a hard one. Both Money in the Bank matches were. They're both extremely just hard to predict. I think the women's case, because we're doing bonus points for if we can get both these right, and if we can predict which one of the two briefcases will be pulled down first, because we're pretty sure the matches will happen at the same time. I think the women's Money in the Bank will go down first, and I think Shayna Baszler takes it down, because we already know it's going to be a Raw superstar, because Becky Lynch is like, oh, I'm going to confront whoever takes the briefcase. Although that could be a swerve, don't really see it being one. But I think Shayna's going to take it because... I'm going to go with that. I'm just stick with it. Shayna's going to take it. We'll go with that. Now for the men's Money in the Bank match, this was really hard because I was really torn between AJ Styles and Aleister Black specifically. I know it's going to be a little weird to have Raw win both of the Money in the Bank briefcases, but I don't see them giving it to Otis. I really don't. I don't see them giving it to Corbin because he just lost at WrestleMania, so be a little weird to push him up like that. In fact, I think they're probably just going to chuck him off a building because they can. I don't see Daniel Bryan getting it because usually it's typically a heel getting it. I don't see Rey Mysterio getting it because his contract ends in 2 months and he hasn't re-signed yet. So it leaves Aleister Black or AJ Styles. And I just don't see the briefcase in Aleister Black's hands. I think he makes sense to win it, but I don't know. Plus AJ just came back and just won the gauntlet just like that. Just came back and won it after dying. Being buried alive would probably kill him. But he came back, the way he's talking, the way he won the gauntlet, I think AJ Styles is going to take that. And now there's an extra match that we could see happening, maybe on the pre-show, maybe, not at all. But if it happens and Jeff Hardy takes on Sheamus, I think Jeff Hardy's going to win that because they gave him all those, hype-up packages about returning. They gave him all that. They gave him, there's a whole bunch of hype about him returning. And, it'd be nice to let Jeff Hardy win, Maybe this will lead to a push for him. Maybe it won't. Who really knows? Those are my predictions. I'm going to win this time. I'm going to be the winner of this. I am going to take home the prediction championship in due time. It will be mine. And you'll all follow my footsteps.
In this video, we will be predicting the matches for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. But first, before I begin, let me introduce myself. I am the reigning, defending Appalachian Avengers predictions champion, Justin Davis. We're going to start off the predictions with the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I have the New Day winning this. I feel it's the only thing that's really realistic for them to win the title. I guess the Forgotten Sons have a small chance, but I don't feel like it's their time yet to win the title, so I'm going to go with the New Day. All right, next we have the SmackDown Women's title. We got Bayley versus Tamina. I have Bayley winning this one despite Sasha almost costing her the match. I just don't feel WWE are as hyped on Tamina as some people seem to be. And it's unfortunate, but I have a feeling that we're going to stop and halt the Tamina train choo-choo. All right, next we got the SmackDown Universal title match. This match is really like a flip of a coin for me. It really depends if it's going to be Bray or The Fiend facing Braun. I have a feeling it's going to be The Fiend based off what Bray said on SmackDown. So I'm going to go with Bray / The Fiend winning the Universal title back. Basically making Braun a transitional championship, which is not what I wanted to do. But I have a feeling that's what they're going to do. They booked themselves into a corner again, as they always do. We'll see how that plays out. Next, I think, is the most predictable match on the card. It's a WWE title match between Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. I have Drew winning this. It's definitely not the time for Drew to drop the title. I have a feeling they're going to wait until after they have crowds back at the shows before they have Drew drop the title. They're going to want him to sort of have his celebration in front of a crowd once that is possible. I don't know how long that's going to be, but I have a feeling that's what it's going to be. Next up, we have the Women's Money in the Bank match, and for that match, I have Asuka winning. I feel she's been pulling double duty a lot. She's been on Raw, she's been on Main Event, anything. She's been the workhorse of this whole quarantine time for the women's division. I think she deserves it, and I think this will be her time to win the title. Some will say Shayna Baszler. I think they've gone a little cold on her. Vince just doesn't really understand her. I don't know, that's just how Vince works. And finally, for the Men's Money in the Bank match, I have AJ on the shirt, but I'm predicting Aleister Black to win the Men's Money in the Bank. He has a really good record this year. I don't know how many of you have looked at it, but he's only lost one match this whole entire year, and he's been on most shows, so he has a really good record, and they have to be building him up for something, and my prediction is that they're building him up for this Men's Money in the Bank match. So he is my prediction to win. We also have some bonus points to be had because we have a feeling this is going to be really close, as we're going to be predicting a lot of the same results. So we're also going to be predicting whether the man or the woman is going to pull down the Money in the Bank briefcase first. And we'll get a point right if we can predict which gender pulls the briefcase down first. We'll also get an extra point if we predict both of the Money in the Bank winners right. And we'll also be predicting Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus, just in case that match happens, probably on the pre-show. So yeah, first, who's going to pull the briefcase down first? I have the Women's Money in the Bank winner pulling the briefcase down first, just because they've stated that on Monday, that Raw that follows Money in the Bank, they will be facing off against Becky Lynch. So I think it only makes sense that they are the first one to pull it down. So the men who isn't facing off against the champion will have their moment up there, just sort of holding the briefcase on the ladder that the woman won't really get. So I think the woman will pull down the briefcase first. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You can go back through my predictions to see if I got both the winners right. And then for Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus, I have Jeff winning this. I don't know. He just had the bigger story going into it. Sheamus has definitely had a story, but I feel Jeff is going to win this one. Sheamus may do something to prolong the story, which I think would most likely happen. They seem to be going pretty hot on the storyline. I don't really know why, but I don't really think the storyline makes sense. But I have Jeff winning this, and the story probably going all the way to SummerSlam, unfortunately. Alright, that's it for me. Let's see what happens. This is your Appalachian Avengers Predictions Champion, signing out.
Hey guys, Goten here, back with a quick little update at the end. We forgot to mention what's on the line. So the predictions title for this show specifically is not on the line. Instead, a Money in the Bank briefcase will be on the line. Now, what's in this briefcase? Well, pretty much, if the champion himself, Justin, wins, he can cash in the briefcase to skip a title defense. Say, we'll be doing double or nothing predictions. He could, if he wins at Money in the Bank, he can cash in that opportunity and not have to defend the title. So pretty much it'll just be predictions for fun. Now, if either myself or Harpo are to win, we will get an advantage at a future predictions contest. Pretty much, what will happen is, let's say Harpo wins. He can cash it in, let's say at SummerSlam. I will start at -2 points, and the champion, Justin, if he's still a champ by then, would start at -1. So we'd be at a disadvantage, pretty much almost guaranteeing Harpo the win. We're not going to give it an outright win, mostly because we can't do skits like that because of quarantine, and that's difficult to schedule anyway. But yeah, that's pretty much what's on the line here. I'm going to win, so don't worry about it. I got you. And then I'm going to cash in at, I don't know, SummerSlam or something. I don't know if I will or not. We'll see. But yeah, I'd add this at the end because none of us mentioned it. And yeah, that's what's on the line this time. But for normally, the predictions title will be what's up for grabs.